From the police state to tectonic plates, Dutch Sense and Tattoo take the temperature of tyranny on Freedom Frequency 1871, coming to you live now.
This is America. We have founding fathers that wrote a constitution that we haven't lived by in 142 years.
Were they serious when they said they planned on owning the weather by 2025?
And if you're not pissed off, there's something wrong with you right now.
Have you guys seen what's going on outside your door lately? Need I remind you?
This is America. Are y'all going to allow it to be Russia?
Welcome back to Freedom Frequency 1871. This is your host, Dutch Sense. It is Friday, January 31st, 2014, and we are on the cusp of midwinter, cold, dark nights. But, guys, you know, the tongue lashing will continue. I promise to lighten up just a little bit. I'm not trying to be too hard. However, this is a topic near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I've had to do for now multiple years, as well as Tat and Chrissy, which is clean up other people's disinfo mess that steps all over the topics that we cover. And
there's somebody in chat that just asked if I burn an ice cube. Yes, I have. I used to do a lot of experiments. I just don't have the room in my garage to do the experiments that I would like to do for y'all. And
right.
Yes, it will make an ice cube turn black.
Yes.
It'll get black particles all over it. If you don't believe me, go in your refrigerator, grab your ice cube, and light it with a butane lighter, and you'll see it for yourself.
Correct.
Case solved.
Yeah, it's a repeatable experiment that anybody can do. You know, when we're talking about the butane, the reason they use butane in Bic lighters and disposable lighters is because butane is cheap. It's somewhat dirty. It burns somewhat dirty. And it will, for instance, when you burn something like a piece of snow, it will leave small particles of the butane residue on the actual crystal of ice. That then accumulates rapidly, and then carbon forms around that. That particle then becomes carbonized, and more particles of carbon build up on that off the meniscus of the flame. And blackness, soot, appears on the surface of the ice. Now, you can see this. Have you ever seen the Discovery Channel shows where the people are walking through the tunnels of ice in Antarctica? And, you know, some of them have had torches, real torches. And there's black soot that's left on the cave roof, the ice caves. Now, people that are using Bic lighters are also reporting the smell of burning plastic. Well, I would venture a guess that if you're turning your Bic sideways and lighting the snow over and over again and holding it there, you are going to start to smell burning plastic. Why? Because the metal casing cover heats up. Have you ever had a lighter explode on you when it gets too hot? When the metal casing gets too hot from lighting it too much? Maybe you haven't. I would not recommend doing it. It will explode because the lighter is made out of plastic. And it will heat up and you will smell burning plastic. Now, there's other people saying, oh, well, I'm getting the smell of sulfur. I'm getting the smell of XYZ, an acrid burning smell. Let's go back to cloud seeding again. Whether it's jet fuel, or whether it's silver iodide, or whether it's sulfur dioxide for solar radiation management for reflecting of the sun back out into space. If it was in the snow and you were to burn the snow, there most likely would be an acrid smell of some kind. But it doesn't mean that the snow is plastic and fake. It means that the snow is real, it's moisture, and it's going to melt in your hand, and it will melt in a dish. But the way it was built, the way it was conceived, was artificial. So we've got a bunch of people that are mixing topics, not knowing what the hell they're talking about. And that leads us back to why I have to weigh in. And why I'm so angry. Because I would think that people would be a little bit more critical-minded, critical thinking. But instead, they go with it. And that, is something that the community has to stop. You can't wait till Friday night for Dutch Sense to come out and correct the situation and try and set it straight. You guys going to let this go all the way to the top and not say anything? You all going to buy into it? Really? Where were you 2 years ago, all of you who were bought into this plastic nanoparticle stuff with no evidence? Where were you 2 years ago? Where were you when we were trying to get the word out on HAARP and geoengineering and fracking? And you were all telling me I had to have verifiable proof, remember? Well, here they all are. The same channels even, putting this stuff out. Now, this leads nicely into another video that Tat put out this week. And we will be getting to callers in the next hour, guys. If you need the number, I'll just go ahead and give that out right now before I get into the video Tat put out. The number is 567-314-9296. And again, that's 567-314-9296. And you could probably get in queue. There may be a few callers already on hold. Now, Tat put out a video this week that is just classic. First of all, it's classic Tat. I mean, he weighs in and gives you his opinion on the topic. But we're talking about a Brooks Agnew appearance on TV where Mick West made an appearance as well. Mick West is a known debunker who's given me, personally, Dutch Sense Michael Janish, a hard time over many years setting up a forum trying to debunk HAARP rings, saying that they're birds and bugs, saying that the HAARP ring pulses that we're seeing are birds and bugs, guys. Anyways, Mick West made an appearance on a skeptic show, a debunking show. And the level of stupidity on the show is just, oh, God. I mean, it's hard to even watch. The guy who's running the show is a meathead of some kind and really trying to debunk HAARP overall. They bring in Brooks Agnew, who's a researcher who's been involved in HAARP publications and TV appearances for a very long time, and asked him to prove that radio frequency can cause a weather modification effect. And they created a giant sealed tank, like a fish tank, but it was hollow. On the inside, they built an apparatus that was designed to mimic on a smaller scale, a radio frequency broadcast from a place like HAARP. And the intent was to clear the tank that's sealed of moisture. So create fog in the tank, turn the apparatus on, and it creates heat, which then evaporates the moisture and the room turns clear. In the process of doing this experiment, Brooks Agnew had below the HAARP antenna replica a ballast. The ballast itself was slightly warm. The debunkers seized upon that opportunity of having a warm ballast in the tank and said, see, the warm ballast is what's causing the evaporation rapidly in the room. Now, they put their hands on it. Brooks Agnew is like, it's warm, maybe it's not hot, and they're all saying it's hot. And then the meathead guy says he wouldn't want to put his balls on it, and that's the level of the quality of the show that we're talking about here, guys. So I mean, don't even waste your time watching it. But this goes back into the disinformation. We've got Mick West, saying that HAARP rings are birds and bugs. 500-mile wide gigantic pulses of power, he's saying are birds and bugs, and his whole forum is saying that. And then he comes on TV and is saying that the ballast is causing an entire huge tank to instantly clear out of moisture. Now, of course, the funny thing is, the skeptics overlooked the one thing that they should have been looking at, which is the light bulbs up at the top of the damn thing that could possibly be causing some kind of heating. But they didn't even seize upon that. They seized on the ballast like idiots because it was the first opportunity they were given to debunk. And that's what debunkers do. Now, I am a debunker. Chrissy is a debunker. Tat is a debunker. We are debunking tonight. Now, there's certain things I won't believe until I see. One of them is going to be the plastic snow. And don't tell me that burning snow and it melting it and vaporizing with a slight black char on the outside is some kind of evidence of plastic. Now, I'm very sarcastic tonight and very upset that I've had to dedicate almost a whole hour towards just explaining basics on cloud seeding, chemtrails, weather modification. Tat and I have spent years trying to get through to you guys, the community, that I say now doesn't exist, because I really don't believe it does. If it existed, there wouldn't be one person covering fracking on YouTube. Where are all the fracking videos? Where are all the weather modification videos? Where are the other reporters going to the conferences to get footage? Where are the hard questions being asked? Nowhere. Everybody's sitting back waiting for it to be brought to them on a silver platter on their mobile device. Because everybody's just here for not for information. I shouldn't say everybody. A large majority of the people are here solely for daily entertainment. Let's just call it what it is. 90% of the quote-unquote truthers are just fear porn lovers who are looking for the daily dose to have something to talk about and look cool knowing.
Fear porn and drama queens. Don't forget that.
Yeah. We could spend a whole 2 hours talking about the drama queens and the YouTube conspiracies within YouTube. The people who find, the conspiracy researchers who find conspiracies on people who are looking into conspiracies. I mean, we're talking high school here. Worse than high school, grade school, telephone game. Worse, there's money involved. Imagine if you got paid to do telephone. That's what's going on here, folks.
What if you didn't believe in nothing and all you wanted to do was make money? When you create fear to do it? Just to get a viral video so you could get some money out of it?
Well, Tat.
Not getting paid by donations from people that are really trying to help. Because when people are scared, they don't donate. But YouTube paying paid shills to get out there and give them some free money. Just imagine if you was getting $150. Just say $100 per video, and you put 5 or 6 of them out a week, or 8 or 10, and you got 50,000 plus videos, and they getting $100 or $150. How much money is that a week, folks? Really think about it. But don't sit on your butts and believe everything that comes out of their mouth. That's the problem, folks. It's really the problem. The root of all of this, the only way for any of us to fix it, is to abolish the Act 1871. We don't hear nobody talking about that. Oh, no, that can't go viral. We can't have that. No, we can't have it. There's no way on this earth can we have anything that's going to do anything for our freedoms. No way. We got to constantly fight the bullshit that's on those frequencies of
Agreed.
YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else that wants to block out the truth. But yet somebody can take a viral piece of rolled up ice and burn it, turn it black to make it go viral. And oh my God, they get them 30, 40,000 views and they made them $150 and all they're happy for the day. Really? Where are y'all? Where is the people that's willing to stand up for freedom and fight for the real things in this life that count for you, your family, your children, and your grandchildren, and so on and so forth? Really? Come on, folks.
They don't care enough, Tat. I'll be quite frank. The people that I've ran into, most of the people are more concerned with keeping the peace. You know how many times I've heard that when they're trying to correct like the disinfo that's out there that people are constantly bombarding my page with? You come out and say something, and everybody's like, oh, you just won't get along. You need to start. We just want peace in the community. No, I want truth in the community. If it means that people need to be thrown out, then they need to be thrown out, or at least shown the door and told what it is when it comes to their disinfo. How many times are you guys going to send me a damn Dabu video? Really? Okay? They're not into the truth, guys. They're into making money, $150 a pop or more. And I don't ever want to hear anybody ever say, scaring people into donating. Dutch sense, fearmonger for trying to make donations. People don't give when they're scared, guys. They hold on to their cash. If they're scared, they ain't giving. You think people get, you see a huge fear story on PBS in the middle. No, they're running Masterpiece Theater and Sherlock Holmes. Okay? The money that the people are making is the root of why it's happening. It's not going to stop happening until they are shunned in a public way to be made to feel embarrassed for what they're doing, if they have any conscience. And I would dare say that even if you tried to shun them, embarrass them, they would then just turn into George for Titles and then just do it for fun. And if you don't know who George for Title is, we're just talking about another channel that goes back years on YouTube who created fake news daily, weekly, monthly. And he even made a video recently telling everybody why he did it. He said, I was making a living.
He come out and told the truth about it. Mm-hmm. And nobody believes him, and they still following him. Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
All he was doing was making money. And I feel sorry for him. I want to be his buddy and hold his hand and take him shopping. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, really?
Hey, take you back a year, guys. 2012 into 2013. A well-known preacher on YouTube, an e-preacher, not really a Christian, put out a fake story saying that Fukushima was on fire a year ago, and that he saw fire and he saw smoke, and that people need to evacuate the West Coast. That story went right to the top. I got a message from a woman in my inbox. She says, Dutch, I've been a long-time viewer. I go look her up. She's previously donated to me before. I've been a long-time viewer. I've seen this story. My child just started in kindergarten here in California. A large majority of her outdoor, she was like an outdoor kind of kindergarten, hands-on, kind of organic kind of thing. And she was asking me if she should pull her kid out of kindergarten and leave the West Coast because of that damn story. Now, I had to sit there at my end and either A, not respond and pretend I didn't get the email, which I could never do, especially when somebody's asking me like that. B, I've got to respond and tell her what to do or what I would do. And I responded and told her it's a bullshit story and that the person who put it out, Prophetic Seer, is a lying asshole who's done this over and over again. And I tried to show everybody, put a huge post out on it. And guess what? I got my ass handed to me by 1,000 people who came over and said, oh, you just don't get along with people. Let's go back another year, 2011, Patriotic Space, putting out news saying that the Gulf Coast was going to be evacuated, that the U.S. government was taking over the entire state of Louisiana, and that if you're a prepper, now is the time. Say something about it? Oh, you don't get along with those channels. No, I don't get along with people who are putting out constant BS, and we have to clean up their mess. And that's the story of my life lately on YouTube. How about Harp is closed? How about that one? How about